see
So
what they have.
I've learned just let him do his spiel because we'll interrupt him.
It'll be fun.
That's our stick.
It's gonna happen.
Shtick.
Right.
That's what I said.
You said stick.
You know, when you start explaining the game, I just stopped paying attention. Welcome to Scott Teaches Games. My name is Nick. This is my wife, Sarah. Huh. We have a special guest today. It is not Holland. This is my brother, Chris. And this is...
Scott. I teach games.
On Thursday, but today is Wednesday.
Dun,
I know
dun,
it might
dun.
be confusing for you, but I think you can handle it. Pick color.
That was easy to know.
Do not matter. Okay. Your starter deck is going to be very basic, in that there are 8 money cards and 2 attack cards.
Okay.
Now, attack cards, you're going to be dealing damage to other players. That's why we have these over here. These are your life totals. These are double-sided, so you can keep track of that. This one, technically double-sided as well, and that is for if you happen to go above 80 life. I don't expect that to happen, but it is possible, so they did throw that in there.
Okay.
Now,
That's my new goal.
everybody's going to start off at 50. The way to keep track of stuff is whatever your orientation with this card is determining what your tens value is, and then this is a slider to determine what your total is. So this would be a total of 56 for your life.
Okay.
So when you go down, if you're starting at 50 and you take some damage, say you take 3 damage, you go to 47, this would rotate and slide up to 47. And again, it has all the possible 10 values. It goes up to 70 for this. If you go above 80, you flip this over. Now we're at 80 plus, back to 0. And that would be 83, while this would be 92.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. They made it really complicated when you could just write down 81, 82.
Where do you see 80?
Then flip it.
Flip that over.
Oh.
Plus.
I mean, what's wrong with pen and paper at this point? I mean, yeah, it looks cool.
What's wrong with pen and paper? You're going to find out as we're playing.
Okay.
Because you would have so many scratch-offs, and it would get very complicated. Yes, it would be better to have like individual calculators in front of everybody to keep track of the score, or a life total app on your phone. But this is assuming that you don't have any extra things. This is trying to be self-sustaining.
Okay, I want to see if there's an app for
total.
this.
There probably is. Anyway, so that is your life total. Now,
You thought I was ridiculous.
you are always going to be starting off with 5 cards in your hand, except for the person who's going first. The person who's going first will have 3 cards in their hand. You just shuffle up 3, 4, 5.
Right now?
We don't need to be doing this. It's still just for the explanation at the moment.
About to say,
This is $1.
Is that a good or bad thing?
I mean, why would someone charge for that?
How are these looking now, Chris? Okay.
I mean, I still have the pen and paper, but okay.
Now, you can always play all of your cards on your turn.
Okay.
So, but you're always going to start off with 5. So, in this case, I would have 3 purchase power and 2 attack.
Okay.
Now, you can split up your attacks as much as you want. This is just a total value. So, if we had a card, let's say, it's one that's less confusing. Let's go with this one. So we had that, and it came up with 5 attack. We'll just ignore the other stuff for now. I'll get to those explanations in a moment. You can split up the attack, even though this is all coming from one card.
Okay.
I could do 2 here, 2 here, 1 here, if I wanted to.
Okay.
So that is not an issue.
Oh, so it's free for all.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a free-for-all. There are other variants that you can play.
Scott,
I
do you want to
can
team
get
up
to those.
against
I
that?
can get to those in a different thing, because there are a lot of extra things that are in here. But this is just going to be the base.
But if you have 5, but that takes 5 damage, right?
We'll get to that in a moment. Right now, this is just what I would have available to me on this turn.
Okay.
That I was doing it.
Okay.
I would have 3 purchase power. Purchase power is used to buy things from the market.
But you said you could play every card from your hand.
Yes, you're playing every card from your hand.
And your hand is 5?
hand is 5. Yes.
Okay, that's where I got
Balance.
mistaken.
Well, this is a base, and I'll get to those explanations in a moment. Right now, I just want to focus on the purchases. So
Nick's lost.
Up top here is the cost
Okay.
to purchase.
Uh-huh.
So with 3 purchase power, I could take 2.
That and that.
This would replace, and then
Oh.
I have 1 left over. I could take that. Anything that you purchase goes into your discard.
Wait, discard.
Into your discard. We'll get to this. Just hang on, guys. We're gonna get to it.
I want to make
Alright?
sure you didn't.
Okay,
For the
it
boys
goes-
and girls at home.
It goes into your discard. Yeah, well, I need to take care of the boys and girls here right now. So, okay.
Discard, everyone.
So it's going into the discard. And again, at the end of your turn, anything that is unused is just going to go away.
Okay.
So
In the same
if we
discard
didn't
pile?
happen to have 1, yeah, everything that was used. So I deal 2 damage over here. I was able to purchase 2, but there's no 1. So I have 1 that's wasted. Doesn't matter. It gets used up, and everything goes into the discard. And then you draw up again to 5 cards in your hand.
Okay.
I see what's happening. You're
Yes.
going to recycle.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Now, these are always purchasable.
Okay.
So these are cards that are just going to improve your hand a little bit, but they're not great.
Okay.
Uh,
So in other words, they're not the best
yeah,
purchase.
so like these, they're fine in case you get stuck in the beginning. Sometimes it gets to be difficult to buy stuff. This will allow you to eventually level up and purchase stuff. Anyway,
It's very
you-
loud.
You've dealt with all of your cards and your second hand. All your cards are now here. You go to draw. You can't draw. You take your discard, shuffle it up, and now that is your deck again. So what you're doing is you're
We're
improving
losing
your
him
deck.
Why are you laughing?
because of his water bottle fiasco.
Okay. Now,
Let it out. Let it out, Chris.
honestly, we're almost we're getting pretty close to the
Sorry, it was
explanation.
really funny.
I
Okay.
think we need a timeout.
I need like a 2 minute.
This is intermission, folks.
It reminds me of the time we were on the train and there's this crazy lady was right behind Nick whispering in his ear and I started bursting laughing.
Yep, that happened.
And then he started laughing saying, can you stop it?
She said, people laughing. Why are people laughing?
Everyone looked at us. Everyone looked straight at us.
And I looked at Chris and I said, stop laughing.
But he was laughing hysterically. Ah, whew. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Now you're noticing that we have some sideways cards and face-up cards. So the face-up ones are ships. At the end of your turn, ships will get discarded.
Okay.
Bases
Get
stay in play.
Okay.
Those will stay in play.
How many bases can you have?
As many as you want.
As many as you can afford.
That's the more reasonable explanation. Now, you can see that there are 2 different types of bases in that they have different colored shields over there. White
Ooh.
shields are just, in general, it's just to denote how much health it has. Just ignore the rest of the stuff. We're going to get to that in a moment. The black shields, however, are, let's try to think of a equivalent thing that you might have played.
Energy?
No, it's more like defender or block or something along those lines. What it is,
I played
is-
World of Warcraft.
well, that doesn't really help for my explanation for this one.
Okay.
Or I guess if we're thinking it that way, you can think of this as a tank.
Okay.
Okay. So what this is meaning is that you can't attack
That base.
that person if they have a black shield base in front of them
Ever?
Ever?
You have to get through it.
until you get through it. Now, the numbers denote how much health it has. You have to get through all of that health in one go. There's not
That's
like
expensive.
So regens.
yeah, it's at the end of its turn. If you haven't dealt the 4 damage, so if you only have like 2 damage to deal at the beginning,
You
you
can't.
can't get through that.
So you have to go through this to go through this one.
Yes, but you also have to get through this one to deal damage to me.
Yeah, yeah.
If I don't have this, you can just attack me. You don't have to attack.
Then what's the
this.
purpose of this one then?
because it's a permanent resource. I am getting this benefit every turn.
5 attack.
Yes.
But if someone attacks this,
If someone deals 8 damage to this, this goes away into the discard.
oh, so it does come back.
Yes, they will.
So better explanation would be that this is a shield for all. This is a separate entity. Correct?
Yeah, I didn't say this was a shield. I was just.
I
saying-
know, but it has a
Saying
shield on it.
That's
That's the
denoting
But
its health.
this is a shield
Black
for
shield.
you, right? Not for everyone.
No, it's yes.
this and that.
So, if there could be multiple black shield bases that you have,
Okay.
you can attack either one of them,
Okay.
but you cannot attack any regular bases or the
So-
player that it's in front of. But yes, what you're saying is correct. It is just a shield for the person who owns it.
And what happens if they have multiple black shields? They have to get through
You
all
have to
of
get
them?
through all of them if they're trying to attack any of the normal bases or.
But you
that
don't have to
player.
get through all of them in one shot. You have to just get
No.
through one individual one
Yeah.
in one shot. Okay.
Yeah, like all you have to do is get through this health value to put it into the discard,
Got it.
and then you can start working on the next thing.
Okay.
Now, like we were saying, it is multiplayer, so if I have this in front of me and you can't get through it, well, you dump off the damage on somebody else that you
You
can
would
attack.
like that, wouldn't you?
Wait a
Absolutely,
minute.
I would like it. That's why I would have a black shield early. That's why I would want. Yes.
What do you mean you can dump it off on somebody else?
I mean, like in your starter deck, you only have 2 damage.
Yeah, but you have to use all of it at once, I thought.
Yeah, but I can
Right.
attack Nick
But
and
what I'm
so
saying
Scott.
is, like, if I had this in front of me,
Yeah.
then you can't attack me
Yeah.
until you get through this.
Right.
And you don't have enough to get through this.
Right.
So you can't attack me and you can't destroy this.
Correct.
If nobody else has black shields in front of them, then you can attack them with the
What
damage.
if we did decide to attack that?
It would
Then
be
It
useless
would be wasted.
Okay.
because
because you
it regens.
Well, what I was asking is, do I get hit instead?
No, there's no
No,
ricochet.
there's nothing along those lines. You're just trying to attack me. Now, there are 4, actually we have all 4 factions, fantastic. There are 4 different factions denoted by their colors, and there are symbols up at the top here that are relevant for these actions. Now, what these are is they trigger if you have an additional card of that faction that you've played, that you have in play. Now, this could be a base, like say this one and this one.
Wait, they trigger if you have an additional.
So for this one,
Yeah.
for this base, I would have 5 attack, just as is, at the beginning of my turn. Now, if I have also played another green, then this triggers and I
Oh,
get an
okay.
additional 3
Okay,
attack.
so it's 8 total,
if I have
and then
2,
11. Okay.
then I get another 3 again on
Okay.
top of that. These base values here are what the effects of the cards are. So we'll have this one's very easy to understand because it's just a big old 10.
Right.
10
so
attack.
It's 10 attack. That one's easy to understand. This gives you 3 purchase power, and if you have another blue thing, it'll give you an additional 2. So this one's good for buying more
what's the
expensive
trash
stuff.
can?
I'm gonna get to those later. Just hang on. We're gonna.
And then this is
That-
the price, right?
That's the cost. Yes,
Okay.
that's the price of it. Now, each faction has their own thing that they are focused on. Yellow is the only one that has targeted discard, meaning that they are forcing another player to discard one of their cards.
I call yellow guys.
Now, you're buying them.
But I'm yellow.
There's no calling anything. You buy them.
Well, if he's calling yellow, I'm calling blue.
All right, and we're moving on. Okay. Now, for red, red is the only one that allows you to scrap cards in your hand and discard pile. Now, scrapping is this trash can mechanic.
I see.
The trash can, the scrap ability means that you are removing it from the game.
Oh,
It is
wow.
no longer going to be, so for...
Oh, so it's not cycling.
Right. For this one, it says you may scrap a card in your hand. If you do, gain 4 attack.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get rid of one of your basic cards, which is usually a good thing because you are now getting these big upgrades and you don't want these dinky little things anymore. So you will scrap it, remove it from the game, and it's no longer in your deck. Now, this one makes it so that you don't have the effect for that turn because you're scrapping it from your hand, but if you have something you're scrapping from your discard, that's not affecting what you have for that particular turn.
Wait, say that again. That last part.
Meaning that if you're scrapping something from your hand, then you aren't able to play it that turn
Yeah.
because it's now gone. you have something in your discard that's something that you've already played previously. So you could be playing all of your hand and still get the effect of all of your hand.
And you can do either or?
No, it depends on what it
Depends on what it
says.
says. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now the base game that I'm used to has either or, but I haven't really played this version that much.
Okay.
All right. These are self-scrap abilities, which is
So
something
they
that's
get rid of
impressive.
this card.
You can get rid of this card yourself. So you could play this card, get 2 purchase power, and scrap it to get 2
Attack.
attack.
Gotcha.
Now, doing the self-scrap, if it's already been played, you still get the effect.
Mhm.
You don't lose it. It's not like, okay, well, I really want to purchase, but I need to deal this damage. You get both effects,
Mhm.
but
Okay.
you're just removing it.
So it's good to like have 5 of these, for example, to dump on someone if you need to get through their shields real quickly.
Can, but if you have like 5 of those, that means that that's your whole hand. Because remember, you only have 5 cards that you're
Yeah, I
drawing.
know. I'm saying, but I mean, if you gotta,
You gotta do what you
you
gotta,
gotta do what you gotta do.
Blue is the only one to gain life, which we don't have an
That's
image
why I called
for at the moment. Let me see if I can get it right. So this symbol, the green one, is denoting life gain. So you'd
Okay.
be gaining life. I'm not gonna use their terms because it's just easier to understand with life gain. That should be pretty much everything, honestly.
How many rounds are there?
Until you die, until you're the last one standing.
Oh, okay.
Alright guys, if you like this video, please drop a comment below. Let us know how much you like it. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that notification bell for all of our latest updates.
See ya.
Bye.